Welcome to the Etsy Conversations podcast, featuring inspiring interviews with Etsy shop owners, hosted by Ijama Elazu.
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the Etsy Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Ijama, and I thank you for joining me again for another episode. This week, I have a return guest on. I always like it when guests come back because it's always nice for me to check up and see, well, not so much me to check up on them, but I like to see what people have done and are doing and how things are progressing. And I think it's encouraging just to hear from people who have stuck with it over the long run. My guest today is Marcie Lundy. She runs the Etsy shop House of 303 and a second shop, which we'll be talking about, and that's going to be part of our discussion. And she was last on the podcast literally a year from today. So, and we were just laughing about that. I said, okay, that's it, Marcie. The second week of November is all yours. You'll be back in 2016, right?
Yeah.
So welcome back, Marcie.
Thank you. And actually, House of 303 is the hashtag I used to or like to use, but it's
okay.
303 face body.
Okay, so it's still 303 face body.
It is.
Okay, sorry about that. So House of 303 okay, I do see hashtag on there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So a lot has happened in the last year.
Yes, a lot of good things.
Good things. That's so good to hear. So where should we begin? What's the most exciting thing for you?
You know, I think one of the most exciting things was when I had reached out to Uncommon Goods and just sent them sort of a little bit of a resume about what I was currently doing. And I heard back from them within a month. And then they started actually carrying two of my products, the Bukkake flower mask and the poppy soap. And so it was so exciting to do my first major purchase order.
Wow.
Where I actually was panicking right up until, I mailed it off. I was almost finding a reason to panic. And it's like, no, this is awesome. Just keep going. But I was panicking, but it was so thrilling. I mean, because when you start, you're just excited that you've created this.
Yeah.
But then to do a purchase order and send it off to a national established company, I mean, that just made my year pretty much.
Okay. So Marcie, explain what Uncommon Goods is so the person listening understands what they do.
Uncommon Goods is pretty much, it's like a specialty gift shop for people who are looking for unique gift items. They have everything from, I want to call it the Himalayan salt block for cooking. They have specialty jewelry items that people can have made up. There's really so many different items that you can get on there. And it's just, they've been around, I want to say since 2001 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
They've been featured on the Today Show and lots of different other shows. And basically it's for people who are looking for the perfect gift, but they don't want something that's so commercial, something that you could find at the mall. They're looking for something with a special, more personalized touch to it.
Okay. And so the two products that they carry, are they exclusively found on Uncommon Goods, or do you also carry them in your Etsy shop?
I also carry them in my Etsy shop, but the difference with these two products is I made them for Uncommon Goods as a spa gift set.
Okay.
So they're packaged up differently, and inside it's got a special note that explains what the process and experience should be like for you when you purchase the product. So I have them on my Etsy shop, but it's packaged differently.
Okay. Did they ask you to do a different packaging for them just so that there aren't two competing venues that sell the same thing, or was that your idea?
It was my idea initially. I had sent them a men's care set that was basically also a men's spa care set, excuse me, and the women's. And they decided on the women's because they had just done a contract with someone else for a men's spa care kit.
Okay.
And so when I was doing the paperwork, finalizing everything, they asked if the product is exclusive to them or if you also carry it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So I just gave the specifics of I carry it somewhere else, but it's packaged exclusively this way for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so they curate everything that they sell on their site before they offer it. So everything has been looked at and vetted by someone on their staff before it's ever put up for sale on the Uncommon Goods website.
Exactly. They have a team.
Okay.
Basically, like if you went into a business meeting, a group of people like that who review it initially to see if it's something they like and they use it and see if it's something they'd be interested in carrying. Okay. So you go through that process first, and if everyone likes it, then they proceed from there.
And is everything that they sell all handmade?
I believe so. Yes. It's actually, I know there's issues on Etsy. Some people are upset because things people are selling are not handmade.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same thing with Uncommon Goods. They want stuff that is personalized. You did it yourself. Mm-hmm. And they want you to know the story behind how you created it and what does it mean. And so no one could really come into that selling something that they bought somewhere else. It's all original.
Okay. So Uncommon Goods would actually be a potentially viable second platform for Etsy sellers that hand make everything from scratch if they can present it in a way that it can be gifted.
Exactly. Because it has to, of course, look like something you could find that, let's say Nordstrom or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
It has to be packaged a different sort of way than how you may sell it out of your shop.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the Uncommon Goods website, which it's uncommongoods.com, and I'll have a link directly to it. Okay. It looks very Nordstrom-y. That was the idea I got. It's like, okay, exactly. I feel like I'm shopping at Nordstrom for a gift. And so, now the way they do it will buyers be able to identify you, or is everything watered down so that it just all looks, what am I trying to say? Can I find your exact product and know it was yours?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
There's an area where you can type in keywords.
Mm-hmm.
And if you type in, my item is pretty much the only item on the site that has Pukaki flower in the name.
Okay.
So if you type in Pukaki flower, it'll pop up automatically and it'll take you there.
Okay. So is it like having your own shop on Uncommon Goods?
Sort of, but a little different because you're in a category. So it's your product. And I also had done an interview with them. So where my products are listed underneath, it has a bio about me, and you can click on my picture and it takes you to the interview that I did with them.
Okay.
So it's more of not so much your own shop, but you're in a section with others, but it's more maybe like a profile.
Okay. And are you able to advertise your Etsy shop on there?
You know what? I don't, but when I did the interview, I also said where you could also find my products.
Okay.
So you are able to say if you're somewhere else.
Okay. In your packaging, you know how on packaged products you can put the ingredients, the label, and all that. Do you put a link that directs people to your Etsy shop? Are you allowed to do that on the packaging?
I don't. That's where it's exclusive for them.
Oh,
and so,
okay.
and I'm not sure if you're able to do that or not. You may be able to,
mm-hmm.
but I just did it in a way where it was just basically highlighting, letting people know it's a spa experience and things like that.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. You may be able to.
Okay. So when it comes to sales, do they have a par level where they want you to maintain a certain amount of inventory on the site? or do you wait till it runs out, then you send in more? How does it work?
Basically, before everything was finalized, they asked how many products would I be able to send to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I said I'd be able to do, a bulk order of 25, and it includes this or that. You're able to tell them what you're capable of sending,
Mm-hmm.
and then the conversation goes from there. And they reached out to me. I did the purchase order in April, and they reached out to me in July, letting me know that it was the time of year to start thinking about the holiday purchase order.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they give you a good amount of time to start figuring that out. And I'm sure it's just a matter of how things are selling, and they want to make sure they have the inventory for the holidays. So for the holiday order, I would send the same amount. And they said they basically want to keep an eye and want to know, if they reach out to me, or they wanted me to give them a time frame. If you reach out to me 10 days before you need a purchase order, would I be able to deliver? And I have to say yes, or no, that's not enough time.
Right.
So they're really flexible.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a good thing.
Now, do they purchase the products from you upfront, or do you send it in and then share the profit, so they take a percentage and give you a percentage of the sales price?
Well, it's actually really good. When I set up to do it, they actually ask what percentage would you like to give to them, which is awesome, And so I believe I said 10% off of each item. And so what they do is, when you have your invoice in your box that you mail off to them,
Mm-hmm.
once they receive that, then they pay out your amounts, which, the process is pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was interesting how they do that, because it's almost like you donate an amount to them that you make, and you can set what amount that you want to do or give to them.
Oh, okay. So you set the pricing.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
It is very nice.
So do you anticipate that you'll continue selling on Uncommon Goods into the future? Do you think this is going to be a long-term revenue stream for you?
I think it could be, especially when I did the interview with them, I wanted to have my face in a different area of the website so people could get to know me, and then, click on my products and give them a try if they want.
Mm-hmm.
With the company, they're a great company to work with, so I would love to work with them for the long term.
Nice. Now, how did you find out about them?
I actually, believe it or not, when I went to the mailbox, we had been receiving, just when you get catalogs at certain times of the year. So we received one from Uncommon Goods, and I loved what they had inside. And I said, what they do here is sort of similar to Etsy in regards to handmade, and, they want to know the story behind the products.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, why not? I never know until I try. So I reached out to them, and luckily it all turned out very well.
Wow. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how things happen.
It is. It really is.
Now, they also have a rating system
Mm-hmm.
on their website. So people who buy an item can come back to the website and rate it.
They can.
Do you have contact with the people who purchase your items, or is that a completely separate, you don't know who they are? They're anonymous to you because everything happens through the Uncommon Goods portal. Exactly.
They're anonymous to me. Okay. I can see how many have been sold by going, cause, as a purchaser, you can go and click and see how many you want or whatever. But I can see how many have been sold, but I have no idea who purchased them.
Okay. So it's not like you could reach out to them and say, hey, could you leave a review? What did you think? Okay.
I wish I could, but no, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Now, do you think that having reviews makes a difference in how well a product sells on that website?
I think so, absolutely.
Okay.
Because someone can be looking at the item and say, oh, looks cool, or, I wonder if it does this or that. And if someone's left a review for the item, that whatever the review is may answer the question they have. And reviews are always helpful. So, that's the part that's a little frustrating because I don't have a relationship with whoever purchased the item. Yeah. And I can't reach out to them or encourage them, to leave a review. I would love to do that.
Right. Yeah, that would be helpful.
It would.
Now, do you know if there is, say someone has negative feedback, does Uncommon Goods contact you and ask for, well, not ask for, but like review that with you so that you can make changes if need be? Say it was something with the packaging or something that can be fixed. Are they good about giving you feedback for improvements, not reprimanding necessarily?
Sure. Fortunately, that hasn't happened with me yet. I would hope that they do reach out to you, though, because if it is an issue with packaging or, someone had a reaction or something like that, that they reach out to you so that you can adjust whatever it is and continue to be able to sell on there. But I'm not sure.
Okay. Oh, good stuff. So would you recommend this to other Etsy sellers, and how easy or difficult would it be for someone else to expand into this venue?
I absolutely would recommend it to all Etsy sellers. The thing that you have to remember is this is basically a major retailer. And so you gotta make sure that your packaging is on point. Like, sometimes through our shop, some people enjoy that sort of looks like, you made it from home look or has that kind of appeal. Yeah. But you can't do that when you're dealing with a major retailer. So I spent a lot of time making sure my labels were correct, picking out the correct boxes to package it in. And that was, I already had the products, but that took the most time because I had to make sure it was just right. Or if it's not going to even be looked at because it's not professional enough. So that's the one thing you have to remember. And it doesn't mean that you have to change the way your items on Etsy look because, like I said, some people enjoy the homemade look. But if you want to make something for Uncommon Goods, you're going to have to adjust the look of it or just have a look that's exclusively for them.
Okay. And that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
Because, they're, like you said, it's a retail site, and I think people will be less forgiving, even though everything is handmade. I think, that's the funny thing. It's handmade, but it has to look like it could be sold at Nordstrom. Yes, exactly. People will be less forgiving of the kitchen table look.
Exactly.
All right. Well, congratulations on that. I'm happy for you. I hope this holiday Christmas selling season is going to be huge, because this looks like one of the places that will get lots of traffic just because it's all gifts.
Exactly. Yeah. And unique, exotic, fun. Yeah.
Yes. And gifts for lazy people like me who don't like to go to the mall. We can just sit down at the computer and order stuff.
Exactly. And you don't even have to have it sent to your house. You just have it sent to whoever it's for.
Oh, yeah. That's a good thing too.
Exactly.
Do people have to create accounts to buy through Uncommon Goods?
I imagine it like at checkout, they encourage you to create an account. So
everybody
you
wants.
can check out as a guest, but I'm sure they'd rather you have an account. Yeah.
I know. Oh, yeah. That's one of the things that frustrates me with shopping in certain places. It's like, okay, create your account. You're like, I don't want
there's no guarantee I'll come back here.
Yes. Okay. So now Etsy. So you've made some changes on Etsy.
I have. When we spoke last, I had 2 shops, and my other shop, which was basically Sexy Earth Chick Studios and Ethereal Raven, which was a site where it was strictly organic products. And what I did is just integrate all of that into 303 Face and Body so that, they were all pretty much the same. I just made more of those products on 303 organic. And I switched my Ethereal Raven shop to Gothinista because I have such a love for Gothic photography and fashion. And currently all I have on there is my Gothic photography. But over time, it's going to also have like chokers that are based on a Gothic style. And, I just have such a love for that. And I do actually have a few items, like I have a black lip gloss on there. Everything that's dark and chic is on Gothinista.
Okay.
And like I said, right now it's mainly Gothic photography, dark photography. But that my heart lies in Gothic fashion just as much as it lies in my face and body products. So I had to split the two because, like I was telling you earlier, like it wouldn't make sense to see like dark photography mixed in with bath salts. Like the two don't go. So I split them up, and I just really enjoy doing that, and I have to make sure I dedicate sufficient time to both of them so that they can both grow the way I want them to.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. One of the things that we were talking about before we started the recording was running two Etsy shops and just what all that entails.
Yes.
You can, even though you've been selling on Etsy, opening a second shop isn't just what's the word I want to say? Isn't going to be half the work because you've done it once already for another shop. It literally is twice the work.
It is.
Every single thing you do for shop 1, you have to do for shop 2. Promotion, all that. And so it's tempting. I was telling Marcie that I was so tempted earlier this week to just mash my 2 shops into one, even though I knew it would look so odd and so weird because what I sell are so different. There's just no connection whatsoever. But because I was being lazy, I didn't want to keep doing the work for 2. So how are you balancing that? How are you managing it? Is one suffering, or are you really good about splitting your time equally?
I'm trying to become really good. Gothinista suffers a little because 303 Face and Body is already established, so to speak. And so what I did is I created just a schedule above my dresser so that I have to look at that, and I want to split my days up so that I pay attention to Gothinista one day, make sure I'm doing certain things with it. And that's helping a lot because I have to look at that schedule. It's right in front of, like the dresser. And that's helping me stay balanced because I do not want either one to suffer. I want them both to thrive, and it is difficult. So, Gothinista is the one, like, I'll give a little more TLC to because I need to get it where 303
up
is.
And right. Yeah. And, so when you decided to open up the second Etsy shop, and it makes perfect sense. What were your first steps? Did you create your product line first, or you already were doing it?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah. I already had so much dark photography that I had taken, and, I enjoy it personally, but it's something I want to share and that I think that other people would enjoy. And so for the longest time, I wasn't really doing anything but just enjoying it, here. And I had to make that transition with one of the shops because I said, I really want to share this. And I know that people would enjoy this or can relate to it somehow. And so that's how it developed. It was always there. I just had to go somewhere and give it a face, and that's how it happened.
So what are your plans going forward for just expanding Gothinista?
That's something that I think about a lot because, of course, like people who like dark photography and the Gothic community is a completely different thing from selling face and body products. And so that's just doing a lot of research, like, checking out different Gothic magazines and reaching out to them and trying to get my foot in and a little bit of exposure that way.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's good exposure on Etsy because there's people who love goth on there. But when I reach out to magazines, I feel like, if I'm able to get an article with them, I'm able to build an audience with something that's already established, and then they can decide for themselves if they want to see what I'm about. And so that's currently where I am now, just trying to fill out where I should, promote myself other than my own shop.
Okay. And that's where the hard work comes in.
Really hard. Yeah,
that promotion and the marketing is, I know some people love it, but when it's not what you normally do, or it's not your natural inclination, it's work.
Yeah. If you're not like a natural born saleswoman, then it's kind of hard to just say, here I am and this is what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you're also partnering with a brick and mortar shop. You've been so busy, but I like that you're spreading yourself around. And so you have this exclusive line, set that you make for Uncommon Goods. Mm-hmm. And then you're doing something similar, but with a physical brick and mortar shop where you're making an exclusive line for them as well.
Correct. So I live in Denver, and the shop is out of Denver, Colorado. And it's my friend Tony Jones. She has a shop called Brow Snob in the Cherry Creek area. Mm-hmm. And so I'm partnering with her. And the products I'm making for her, the name I've decided on, well, there's two. It's either Snobettes or Little Snobbies, So that's going to be exclusively for her. She does eyebrows. She does a wonderful job at them. And this is basically going to be products to help her give people the perfect brow. Mm. And the products that I'm going to have in her shop, people are going to be able to purchase through her shop. So I'm really excited about that. She's doing great things, and I think it'll be really good.
Okay. So now the line that you're going to make for her shop will not be available on Etsy.
No, it won't.
And your reason for doing that is what?
I want to keep that business for her, because she reached out to me, and I thought that was so nice of her. Mm-hmm. And so when people request that item, because she's using it all the time, I wanted to have something that was exclusive just for her and her clients. So that's how that came to be.
Okay. I had a question right at the tip of my tongue and it just escaped me.
I hate that.
I know. Oh, okay. I remember. Okay. So essentially what you've done, I'm interpreting what you've done is you've gone out and found kind of like your own wholesale accounts, if you will, and created account relationships with these other vendors or businesses.
Yes.
Have you considered actually doing Etsy wholesale?
I have. It's something that I need to look into more, but absolutely.
And what has stopped you, or is it just a matter of time? Because you are kind of busy.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Okay.
Like, just a matter of making sure my head doesn't explode.
I know. It feels like that some days.
Yeah. And sometimes, like I have 10,000 ideas living in my head and I need to push them forward.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really stopping me, just a matter of organizing and getting it together.
Okay. So the holiday selling season is in full swing right now. What are you doing to capitalize on this? What most retailers say is the most lucrative time of the year?
Well, last year I was thinking of like having like peppermint scented versions of something that already exists on the site.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm thinking of doing this year that seems to be more of an eye catcher for people who are holiday shopping is creating gift sets. That seems to be the winner. And so I may do holiday scented items, but the point is just to make holiday gift sets and really promote those, because people want to get a deal, or they want whatever they're buying for the person, a couple of different things for them to try. So I think gift sets is the way to go this year.
Okay. Yeah. And I agree. Where was I? Etsy Online Labs had one of their workshops, which I can never ever attend because they do it East Coast time in the morning, which is an ungodly hour in California.
Yeah.
But this time I happened to be available, and I was like, I am going to wake up at the crack of dawn if I have to, just to at least try and attend one live and just see what it was like, and if I had any questions. And one of the things that they mentioned regarding holiday selling was creating gift sets, which, it makes it so much easier for people who are shopping to buy when they see a set that you can, just wrap up and hand over to someone.
Sure.
And so I too, I'm like, okay, I need to make gift sets of stuff.
Yeah, people love gift sets because they love if they're getting, of course, a great deal. Mm-hmm. And then if you've got more than one item in the set, they really feel like they're winning. So.
Yeah.
And I feel like that if I get a gift set. So
I do too. Now, see, I hate shopping, and I don't like to go to the mall unless my life almost depended on it. That's how much I avoid the malls and shopping. But I will go like right after Christmas because I love the perfume gift sets that they have at Christmas time.
Me too.
I always feel like, yes, 5 for 1.
I know. Like I was in Sephora in early September, and they had a gift set of like all the best selling Sephora perfumes, and I had to buy that. And,
yes.
I put it on my Instagram and I said, I make products, but I still love Sephora stuff. Like,
that's okay. We'll forgive you. So, Marcie, all right. So I'd like to ask now, what resources that you're using that you find helpful that you can share with us?
Basically Google. That's my resource.
Okay.
When I get an idea and I'm like, okay, who do I want to reach out to today? And anything that's related to what I do, and I Google the company to see if they have a contact us email, and if it seems like, someone I could possibly get through to. I spend a lot of time doing that.
Okay.
And that's my best resource, seriously.
Okay. I like it. Oh, Google is great. Someone else said that the other day. I asked someone, and she goes, Google and YouTube, and there.
Yeah, because it just gives you the path to everything. So whoever I want to reach out to, I just type it in and see if I can.
Yeah. All right. And then, would you like to give an Etsy shop shout out to any other Etsy shops that you've bought from and really loved what they had, or some other Etsy seller who has helped you with something and you just want to say a thank you? And I meant to tell you this beforehand because I know sometimes people need to look up the name.
I know the name.
Oh, you do good.
There are so many I enjoy. Like like so many other people have a Pinterest page, and I give Etsy love all the time because there's so many cool things. But the one that's in my mind right now is Raven's Eve Jewelry, and she does like Gothic style jewelry, just so amazing. And I would give a shout out to her shop because everything is absolutely beautiful. And then there's another one for Strange Women, absolutely awesome. Different kind of perfumes and solid perfumes, and the packaging that she puts it in, phenomenal.
Wow. I like that because it helps me discover new Etsy shops and for other people as well. So I'll have links to them as well so folks can go and check them out.
Awesome.
Now, Marcie, what's the best way people can reach you if they want to get a hold of you?
they can just send me an inbox message on my Etsy page. That's the perfect way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so I will have links to which Etsy shop, either one of them. Anyone?
For mine or the people I just gave a shout out?
No, for yours to reach you. Which one?
Oh, either one
Either
is
one.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will have links to both Marcie's Etsy shops and the resources that we've mentioned in the podcast. Please go check out her shops, and I'm sure she'd be happy to tell you. I think I like that you're taking a different road to expanding your empire.
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's what you have to do.
Right.
And it's unique. And so it gets the mind thinking like, okay, wait, I don't have to follow any one path, and you're making your own, and it's working for you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the more paths that you create for yourself, the better.
Yes. And thank you so much for coming back and giving me this update. So we said November 2016, right?
Yes, 2015. Oh, yeah.
16?
So I've got to try to get on Oprah or something, so I have a really great
Okay, I'll be watching OWN.
Right.
Thank you, Marcie.
Thank you so much.
And I thank you for listening to the podcast, and I will be back next week.
Thank you for listening. You can subscribe to the podcast in iTunes, and while you're there, please leave a review too. Visit convome.com to leave a comment or feedback on this episode.